Dear students, hope you all will be fine. Here I am with another lecture from the chapter Respiration of the course Plant Physiology 1. And this is the continuation of the previous lecture. In this lecture, I will again discuss the respiratory substrate, and in this lecture, I will consider lipids as the example. As I found that lipid is very important with reference to the respiration, and it's a long topic, so I divided this lecture into two parts. So in this lecture, I will try to explain you what are lipids and what are their classification and importance. And in the next lecture, I will tell you how it get metabolized to get enter into the process of respiration. I am Dr. Smina Mahmood, Assistant Professor Botany in the Department of Botany in the University of Education, Lahore. In this lecture, I will try you to get understand what is lipid, what is the structure of lipid, and what is the classification, function, and importance of lipid. Diverse group of fat and oil substances contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but the proportion of oxygen is very less as compared to the carbohydrate. It is hydrolyzed into fatty acids and glycerols. Glycerol and fatty acid is the simplest form of lipids and basic components of the lipids. And lipid again is an organic molecule which is present in the body, and it is high energy producing molecules. And when the carbohydrates are absent, then lipids are used as the respiratory substrates, and the amount of energy which is produced is greater than the carbohydrates. I will in the next lectures, when I will discuss the process of respiration, I will also give you the detail of the amount of energy which is produced by the lipids, carbohydrates, and proteins, respectively. Or in other words, hydrophobic molecule which major with major function in the membrane structure, storage of carbon, and energy reserve, plant protection, and cell signaling. As here you can see, this is hydrophobic molecule. It means it cannot be dissolved into water. These are the some properties of the lipids. These are hydrophobic in nature and not soluble in water. These are not the polymers, and these contain the hydrocarbons in their structure. This is the stored form of energy in all type of living organisms, and these are the rich source of energy they produce almost 6 times more energy as compared to the carbohydrates in the body. And these are hydrolyzed into the fatty acid and glycerols, and these are the fatty acids and glycerols when simplest form of the lipids which get entered into the process of respiration. Let's have a look into the classification of the lipids. Lipids are majorly divided into two groups. These are first group is based on the type of fatty acid which is present in it, and the other type based on the isoprenes. Based on the fatty acid, it is further divided into three types, that is fatty acids, simple fatty acids, and complex lipids. And on the basis of isoprenes, it is further divided into four types: terpenoids, carotenoids, guanine, isoprene chain, and steroids. And as fatty acid is the basic component of lipids, and most of the times these types of fatty acids are present in the body. So I will focus on this part to explain the structure and function of these lipids, and I will explain a bit about this, because if I will explain the function and their structure in detail, then it will take us far away from our basic topic. So I just wanted to restrict myself with a little bit detail which is necessary linked with this lecture, and I will focus on mainly on the process of respiration. So I will explain the structure which is associated and utilized in to explain the process of respiration. So with this reference, fatty acid is very important as compared to the isoprenes. So I will focus on the fatty acid majorly. So fatty acids are these are further subdivided into the classes, and it is saturated, unsaturated, and simple lipids into glycerides, serides, and steroids, and complex lipids into phosphorus lipids, nitrogen lipids, and sulfur lipids. And as you know, phosphorus lipids present in the membranes, nitrogen lipids these are also, and sulfur lipids these are present in the cell membrane, and where they form the compound with the other biomolecules, and these are not present in a simple lipid form. These are the some food sources which are considered the rich source of lipids, like fish, meat, cheese, as we use in bakery products like pizza, butter, chocolates, and nuts, dry nuts. Almost all dry nuts have some proportion of the lipids in them, and avocado. Fatty acids are the simple structural component of the lipids. Whenever lipid is hydrolyzed, it get converted into the fatty acid and glycerol. And as I told you, fatty acid structure is very important because it plays major part in the metabolism of the lipids. Fatty acids are monocarboxylic, straight, unbranched hydrocarbon chains containing even number of carbon atoms, and these number ranging from 4 to 36. Here you can see this is the long hydrocarbon chain, and it is straight. There is no branch, and our carboxylic group is attached on the terminal portion of this long hydrocarbon chain. Fatty acids are further divided into two types based on their reactivity and action in the biomolecule. These are two types: saturated fatty acids and unsaturated fatty acids. Unsaturated fatty acids are further divided into two types, that is monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids. Omega 9 is the example of monounsaturated fatty acid, while omega 6 and omega 3 is the example of polyunsaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids, they are single chain and have no double bond. And as they are not having any double bond, so they do it is very hard to get them break down, uh, uh, and it is not possible that they react with other compounds and get combined and form a complexes. And this is the generalized formula CH3, CH2, and this is the carboxylic group, where N is the number of methylene groups between the methyl and carboxylic group. It has a high melting point and it is solid at the room temperature. And examples of the saturated fatty acids are lauric acids, myristic acid, and palmitic acids. Unsaturated fatty acids, they contain double bond or triple bond in their carbon chain, and due to the presence of this double and triple bond, these are highly reactive and it is easy to get them break down. These are mostly liquid at the room temperature and they have low melting point. Examples include linoleic acid and oleic acid, which are present in the rapeseed. And the further classification into mono unsaturated fatty acid and polyunsaturated fatty acid. In mono unsaturated fatty acid, single fatty acid having a double bond between the carbon 9 and carbon 10 is present, while in polyunsaturated fatty acids, multiple fatty acid molecules and each having the double bond or triple bond in them, they get attached with each other to form the polyunsaturated fatty acids. Here you can see the structure of saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Here this is the long chain of carbon in a hydrocarbon chain, and there is no double bond in this structure. While in unsaturated fatty acid, this double bond is present in the hydrocarbon. So this double bond actually make it reactive and easily breakable as compared to the saturated fatty acids. And in the hydrocarbon, these number of carbons vary among different fatty acids. As we all hear that plant source based oils, they are always better than animal based fats. Why this is? Because here we understand the difference between the saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. The animal origin fat sources like meat, butter, and dairy products, these contain saturated fats, while vegetable oils contain unsaturated fats. As it is unsaturated, and so it is liquid at the room temperature, and the bonds they can easily be break down, and less power is required to get them break down. So due to this unsaturated nature of the fats, it increases the level of good cholesterol in the uh, body, and that is called high density lipoproteins. These high density lipoproteins grab the low density lipoproteins and escort it to the liver, where LDL is broken down and eventually removed from the body easily. While fat source, these are solid, and they are saturated in nature, so they need too much energy to get them break down, and these are not reactive, so they get deposited into the body so quickly, and these are solid at the room temperature. And if we take this source of fat in excessive amount, then it will lead to the increased level of bad cholesterol in our body. Then this is called low density lipoproteins, and low density lipoproteins will result in the clogging of the arteries, and due to this a person may have cardiac attack. These are the few examples of the saturated fatty acids, and their common names are acetic acid, butyric acid, capronic acid, caprylic acid, capric acid, lauric acid, and medistic acids. These are their chemical formulas, and these are their scientific names. And this column represents the number of carbon atoms which are present in the fatty acid of these saturated type of fatty acids. Like four carbons are present in butyric acid, two are present in acetic acids, and here you can see in the rest of the examples. These are the few examples of the unsaturated fatty acids, and as this is the second structural component of lipid, that is glycerol. And when the glycerol, single glycerol molecule get attached with three fatty acid molecules, then it is called triacyl glycerol. Tri means three, acyl means fatty acids, and glycerol means single glycerol molecule. It is non-polar in nature, hydrophobic. It means it repels water, it do not like water, and it is the major form of stored lipids. It may be differentiate between the oil and fat on the basis of physical state at the room temperature, and these triglycerol may be divided into further two types: simple triacylglycerol and mixed triacylglycerol. As name represents simple, it means all the fatty acid molecules, as glycerol is a single molecule, and three molecule of fatty acids are attached with simple triacyl glycerol. So variation can only comes in the fatty acid composition. If the same type of fatty acids molecules are attached with the glycerol, then it will be called as simple triacyl glycerol. And if the different type of fatty acid chains are attached with a single molecule of glycerol, then it would be called as mixed triacyl glycerol. This is the structure elaboration of a single lipid molecule, how it gets synthesized. Here you can see this is the single molecule of glycerol, and hydroxyl group is present on all the carbon atoms. And these are the fatty acid molecules. And as I told you, one glycerol is get attached with three fatty acids. So these three fatty acids get combine with the glycerol, and this process is the condensation process, and it operates in the presence of the enzyme dehydration synthase. And in this process, as hydroxyl group is present on the terminal side of the glycerol, and hydroxyl group is present on the carboxylic group, which is attached with the fatty acids. So in this condensation process, water molecule is released, and they get attached with the oxygen, with the intermediate compound. Here you can see this is the oxygen, and it get attached with this carbon and fatty acid carbon, and in this reaction, as three water molecules are removed from this. Now this is a single molecule of a lipid. These are some chemical reactions in which lipids takes part in the body. And as I explained you many times before, that difference between the saturated and unsaturated. And as I told you that due to unsaturated nature, due to the presence of the double or triple bond in the hydrocarbon chain, this makes unsaturated fatty acids more reactive compounds of the lipids. So in all of these chemical reaction, you will see most of the times the unsaturated type of fatty acids are used. So first one is the chemical reaction is hydrolysis, in which the lipids get breakdown into their simple compounds, and it is operated in the presence of specific enzymes. The next is the saponification, in which triacyl glycerides hydrolyzed by some alkali, and it get converted into a soap. Hydrogenation, in which double bond of the unsaturated fatty acid get hydrogenated in the presence of a catalyst. Hydrogenated, for example, in this situation, the catalyst is nickel. Iodine also used to reduce the double bond of the unsaturated fatty acids, so this process is called iodination. Oxidation, unsaturated fatty acids react with oxygen and produce peroxides, epoxides, and aldehydes. All these chemical reactions are actually very important, and they occur most of the times into the body. And whenever lipids are concerned, and we take lipids in a huge quantity in our food, then these processes of oxidation and hydrolysis must have to occur efficiently in our body. Otherwise, it will lead to the production of low density lipoproteins in our body, and that can be the cause of cardiac arrest. When I explained you the classification of the lipids, then I told you that I will not go into much detail, because it will takes us far away from our basic topic. However, I will mention here the overall function of all type of lipids which are present in the body. So first one, as I told you, it is used in the process of respiration. So definitely in the process of respiration, energy is produced. So uh, 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 they have energy in them. That's why they get utilized and break down in the process of respiration and release energy. So they act as energy storage compounds. These also act as a structural element, and in this I told you these are present in the plasma membrane, like phospholipids and cholesterol molecules. These are present in the membranes, and membrane is the structural component of the plant, so they act as a structural element in the body. Hormones, estrogen, this is the sex hormones in the body, and this is basically the type of lipid molecule in the body. They also act as enzyme cofactor, and for example, coenzyme A is the example, and we know that coenzyme A have some role in the process of respiration. Electron carrier, because in any energy producing and releasing process, electrons in some metabolic processes, somewhere electrons are used, some molecules they are releasing electrons, some are accepting these, so it act as a carrier to take away from one place to the other to the electrons. So example is coenzyme Q plus to coenzymes in the plants. You are very much familiar with the function of these. These are also act as a light absorbing pigment. This is not the major function as chlorophyll do in the plant body. However, they have the contribution or their role as the plant absorbing pigment, because carotenoids are have the structural organization related to the lipids. These also the emulsifying agent, just like in a bile salt. These act as intracellular messengers, like inositol. So from here we can see they have a large list of functions, and they are very important in the body, not only the energy production, but they have other function in the body. But here, as our main topic is the respiration, so we just focus on our main topic, and we will discuss its first the energy storage reaction in detail in the next part of our lecture. This is all about what is lipid, what is the classification, and what are the basic components of the lipids, how they get breakdown. And what are the important function of the lipids. In the next lecture, as the rich source of energy, I will discuss how they get metabolized into the simple form of compounds that can get entered into the respiration cycle. So that's all for today's lecture. I use these two books to prepare this lecture. You can follow these two if you are interested in, uh, in the detail of these this topic. Thank you very much.